All right, we are live.
Hey everyone, welcome to Feelings with the Geekiary. I am Erin, along with fellow host Tara. We also have some special guests, Geekiary team members Becca and Fareed. We're fans. We have a lot of feelings about Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. This is where we webcast about them. Welcome. Yes, that was a very long title.
I'll just do the reminders and stuff.
Yeah,
that's fine. We usually have Vaughn with us who does the reminder. Like we all bounce back and forth, but now it's kind of like this is different than our usual either feelings or the bitching dead. Friendly reminder, this is also a podcast. Please subscribe to us on iTunes so you don't miss any of our feelings. If you're listening as a podcast, please remember that it is recorded live. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen, so forgive us any technical difficulties or what we are still apparently calling accidental swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag Geekiary Feelings. Come on, how will we know if you're wrong? How will we know if you're wrong? I'm so. How am I this tired? I've done nothing but sleep and
always
read.
messes that one up. It's fine.
How will we know we are wrong if you don't tell us? We'd also like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts and as individuals and don't necessarily represent the Geekiary or the webcast itself as a whole. Also, this webcast will be spoiler heavy. So if you have not seen Crimes of Grindelwald, you are watching at your own risk. So what do we got? We got some any Harry Potter coverage recently, other than I wrote a movie review, but that's all I've done. So
yeah, I like keeping an eye on box office returns. To fail because it's Hollywood. Unless this movie fails, Rowling and Warner Bros. Won't be changing stuff. So right now, as far as the reports go, this film had a production budget of $200 million, and it has made around $290 million for now. And however, the Crimes of Grindelwald also ended up getting the lowest weekend opening for any Harry Potter film, as well as the lowest Rotten Tomato score as well. So people ended up giving these reports to one of the executives at Warner Bros. And that executive is like, no, we are okay because 70% of the gross is from international markets. So as far as the executives are concerned, this film is a success. But then again, Disney thought that Han Solo was a success, and it wasn't. So, yeah, maybe if this film makes less money than the first Fantastic Beasts film, maybe that will urge Rowling to change stuff going forward.
No, probably not, because
she's not going to.
No, she's an entitled ass bitch, and she's stuck in her ways. These are not accidental swears. She thinks that we're stupid. Spoiler alert: we're not. Well, we aren't anyway. I don't know about some other people.
She needs a screenwriter. She's not a screenwriter. She needs an experienced screenwriter to make these films. She can't do everything on her own. It doesn't make sense. She doesn't know how to. Yeah, she doesn't know how to condense stories into a 2-hour film. She can't.
Yeah. Can I take a tangent off of that and also say that we need to fire David Yates at this point? Because, God, this movie was just not well made. And so...
Yeah, I don't want to get into this too much now because I'm sure Erin, I know you have more to say about this, but the one thing that bothered me, and I said something to Becca in the theater, one of the earlier scenes where Newt is at the Ministry of Magic and he's talking first with Leta Lestrange and then with his brother, and they keep doing these super awkward close-ups of it was making me nervous.
Nicotero directed that part, Tara. Nicotero directed that part.
I was like, oh my God, what is going on? What is with these weird close-ups? But then they never really did them again. Not like that. It was only that scene. They just decided that they weren't going to do them for the rest of the movie, but then didn't go back and, I don't know, fix that nonsense. You can't tell me they didn't have other angles they could have cut into that.
No, it was definitely intentional, and they did continue to do it, but only for Lita throughout the film, and it was very annoying. That was one of my gripes, actually. The extreme face close-ups. Not a fan of that.
No. They're awkward, and they make me feel awkward. Ugh. Other than that, like, news-wise, there's not much going on with this movie. Like, I've seen a few articles about it, but nothing. They've all been kind of blasting it, not praising it, which is nice, I guess, because it was
Ezra Miller and that actress who plays Queenie. They ended up hearing the backlash from the directors during an interview, and both of them are like, "You need to wait for the story to unfold. Rowling has a plan." Ezra is a fan of how Rowling ends up showing the other side of villains to make them more sympathetic. And I'm like, there's no need to sympathize with a character who's basically Hitler.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need to do that.
Like, speaking of that, though, like, Ezra Miller is facing a lot of backlash because of the, he did a 4-minute short about the guy who killed Mike Brown. And people were saying that he sympathized with Mike Brown, and that's not true. You have to watch it. It's only 4 minutes, y'all. Just watch it online. And but no, it's painting him as it's showing how he prepared to lie. Anyway, but so that was a whole mess, and they were saying that he sympathized with Mike Brown's killer, and so that was a fun explosion. Not really at all.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I really trust Ezra Miller's opinions on these things right now, but also, like, generally, like Fareed said, we don't need to sympathize with a character who is like basically Wizard Hitler.
I think they're trying to make us sympathize with Credence. I didn't feel any sympathy about what's that.
I can understand sympathizing a bit with Credence because that's different. But, like, I mean, if it was a generic, like, oh, she wants you to sympathize with the villain, like, right now, Grindelwald is the villain. Like, Credence is kind of he was kind of a villain in a way in the last movie too, but we still sympathize with him. Antagonist is better. So yeah, so is like if he means himself, like, just because he is joined Grindelwald, he is the villain. I don't know, man. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't listen to Ezra as well. I mean, no offense, I like him, but he mostly seems high whenever I see him.
Yeah, because he is, though. He smokes so much. He smokes so much. And, like, mad respect, but, like, shut up sometimes. And I don't know, though. I'm one of those people that, like, every time I see Ezra Miller, I'm just kind of like, but but enough about that. Someone else talk.
Well, like, when we used to do these, we've done several of these movie webcasts, versions of Feelings, and, like, we usually talk about midnight screenings because, like, Vaughn is always with us and she loves midnight screenings, and they still have midnight screenings in Australia, like, where that's actually the first time you can see the movie. But, like, we don't have that anymore. Like, nowadays, like, shoot, I mean, Becca and I, like, we went to a 5 o'clock showing of this movie. 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
On a Thursday. Like, so it's not even, it used to be for the longest time 7 or 7:30 or whatever was, like, the first showing, and now it's apparently 5. But I'm pretty sure I had friends who got tickets to early screenings, but I had some friends who, I think they just went to a Wednesday screening. Like, I think the film was actually open where they were. And granted, they're near New York City, so, like, it might have been there a day early, just period, whatever. But, like, I just, like, midnight screenings are kind of, at least in the US, just a thing of the past. I mean, I haven't had to go to one since 2011.
No. We went to, didn't we go to Hunger Games?
Not the last one.
Oh.
Yeah, the last Hunger Games movie, I think it was the final one that we saw together in whatever 2014 or 2015. Yeah, no, that was like a 7 or 8 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah, because I know, like I'm gonna like I've always had to work the next morning, so like I remember specifically the last time I went to a midnight screening, because you're up until 2:33 in the morning, really 3 in the morning, and then you have to go to work the next day.
I went to like the Twilight ones. I went to the Harry Potter ones back whenever they, were just the Harry Potter ones. But
I mean I did too, but like I haven't had to in forever.
Yeah.
Well,
I only remember going to watch Cloud Atlas way back in 2012 because of Halle Berry. It was a midnight screening, and I forced my siblings to take me there. I was like, all of you are going to watch this film with me because we're going to support it and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been at any midnight screening.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm 36 and I can't stay up that late anymore.
So if that was what was still happening, like if you want to see this movie first, you have to go at midnight, it would not happen for me.
No, absolutely not. No, I can't stay up till like
I guess
one
for Reed, you and I are the spring chickens of this group. Just kidding. I can't do that. How old are you, Fareed? You're what, my age, 28?
Yeah, I turned 28 this year in October.
But I mean, I remember like when I went to the Harry Potter one in 2011. I mean, I was still in my 20s then, and that was like rough. Like I remember going to that and being like, I don't ever want to have to do this again, and then I haven't had to. It's been great. But anyway, enough about us being old.
I will say kind of though, like as far as events go and stuff, events around the opening, the place that I went, and I always go to Flick's Brew House, which is kind of a regional chain of movie theaters that has food and brews their own beer and stuff. Like it's the coolest thing ever. They had butter beer, and they had special like golden snitch chicken wings, and they had like a specialty Tri-Wizard themed beer and stuff. So I mean, even though I did not go at midnight, it seems like a lot of places still did kind of do themed stuff to kind of help with the buzz a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that if I was still in Orlando, I would have been able to experience something like that. But because I mean, when I went to see, I want to say like Last Jedi, they had like themed drinks, or maybe it might have even been the Han Solo movie. It might have been Solo earlier this year. They had like themed drinks and stuff, but yeah, going like around here, like little Greenville, South Carolina, we don't, I mean, our theater doesn't even have a bar in it. So
no,
but yeah, I mean, I do like, I love like the event things. I mean, for Solo, I actually did the fan event because it was Brian's birthday. So like his birthday present, I got us tickets, and we did like the earlier fan event where you get like a poster and like all this like swag and stuff like that. And that was really cool. So I would absolutely do that again, but it was still, not at midnight. So.
Right.
All right. So let's dive in, because like we said, we have a lot of feelings about this. Blah, 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 Crimes of Grindelwald. What do we all have to say?
Well, before I'm sorry, I'm gonna totally hijack this thing.
Yeah.
Before we get into like the storyline details, I was hoping we could talk about like technical details, because I think that will be a much shorter discussion. And because I had a lot of technical problems with this film, I thought it was very poorly edited. The cinematography was terrible. Like, it was so literally dark that like even in the movie theater, I had a hard time seeing what was happening. And I understand like movies are supposed to be dark in places, but not like in the movie theater where you should have like the best vision experience. And it was so dark I couldn't see anything in some parts of it.
Oh yeah, the very beginning, I had no idea what was going on. No clue.
Those opening scenes?
Yeah, the whole thing with Grindelwald being transported / escaping. Like I had no. I have the screenplay and I read it and I was like, this is what happened? Fuck me, because I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, we read it on our way to the Ren Fair.
Becca drove and I read it out loud.
She was like, Becca, I have a present for us. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, present. And she pulls it out and I was like, just like that.
How many films has David Yates directed?
He's been directing since the 4th one?
5th, Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix. Is it the 4th one?
Not David Yates.
I mean, they should have brought back the director who did part 3. I mean, part 3 was very dark, but at least you could see what was happening.
It was Mike Newell.
Yeah.
And then Alfonso Cuarón did the 3rd one. Mm-hmm. And then who were the first 2 ones directed by? Chris Columbus.
Yeah. Now, I actually really liked David Yates doing the films in the Harry Potter series. Like Order of the Phoenix to me was probably the best done film in Harry Potter, in my opinion. I know it's not popular, but if you look at that side by side to Crimes of Grindelwald, like you have a lot of the same atmosphere, I would say. They're both kind of equally dark. They both scenes take place in the Ministry of Magic and stuff. But if you look side by side, like in Crimes of Grindelwald, there was almost like a sepia tone, especially in the Ministry of Magic scenes. And it seemed heavy, where I don't feel like it really should have been at that point. So I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree with Erin. Now that she's mentioning stuff, I'm like, yep, that movie looked horrible on the big screen.
Yeah. And the extreme close-ups too, Tara, like you said, that it was very unsettling for me. This, the Ministry of Magic scene in the beginning, and then kind of immediately after that with Dumbledore and Newt in Paris, like in the fog where it was really dark. There were a lot of extreme close-ups there too, and I was like, why are they doing this? This is so bad.
So maybe they were doing that so that they wouldn't have to CGI every scene, because they were using green screens. They were probably like, let's zoom in so we don't have to like spend our budget trying to CGI everything behind the characters.
So that could be budgetary. Yeah,
it could be.
Speaking of green screen, Fareed, what's going on back there?
Oh yeah, I have one too.
Are you going to direct
I'm setting things up for a project.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm so wiggly. I'm in like.
Yeah. I'm making the 3rd Fantastic Beasts in my room.
honestly,
that was the size of the green screen they probably used with all of the close-ups they had going on.
I mean, to be real, my goal is to get a green screen so that y'all don't have to look at my dining room table, refrigerator, and messy bookcases every time I do a webcast. Oh, I miss my Hobbit hole. Anyway, so
that didn't sound right.
Yeah, like my.
Reed, get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah, geez. The darkness, like it got a little better, like not throughout the entire movie, but like at least it was like the very worst part was absolutely, for me at least, that first like scene. But like just generally, just the editing, like what they left in, like what did they cut? Because it feels like they didn't cut anything.
They cut a scene from the trailer, though. I mean, if you guys remember the trailer, there was a scene in which Letta Lestrange was in a ballroom, and there was this woman dancing or a piece of cloth in the air. They cut that scene.
No, that was in. She wasn't dancing, but there was a woman in a ballroom, and there was a piece of cloth floating.
So it was the same scene from the trailer? It seemed different to me. Maybe I saw it wrong.
I don't freaking remember the trailer,
Neither
so
do
don't
I.
ask me.
I didn't watch any of the trailers, so but I know so maybe I don't know. Fuck me.
No, yeah, I don't remember the trailers all, but really though, in terms of the editing and everything, not just the darkness, but generally, what did they get rid of? Because it felt like nothing. Like this movie felt so long, unnecessarily long, and it wasn't really. It was what was it? 2 hours, 20 minutes, like kind of the regular movie length now, regular blockbuster movie length nowadays, and I just couldn't.
I think that's a really good. I think that's a good segue into the storyline too, because this movie had very, very little plot, and I was kind of discussing that I went with my brother and my brother's girlfriend to this film, and we were discussing afterwards, and they did not agree with anything I said, so I felt very alone. It was very sad. But
Why did they like it? What reasons did they give that they liked it?
I have a theory about people who liked The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I feel snobby saying it, but I will tell you in a second.
Well, I want to say this. I've had a lot of friends who had seen it within the past. Basically, I have a lot of friends who've seen it Sunday. They saw it Sunday or later. So within less than a week. And they all seem to think it's not necessarily that they liked it, but they didn't dislike it. And they feel like they were kind of misled maybe, or not even misled, but I feel like the general consensus from not everybody, but all these people who at least didn't necessarily dislike it, is that they didn't think it was as bad as so many of us made it out, who saw it right away, made it out to be. And I'm not really sure why that is. I can't tell you about people who saw it right away and still loved it, but all the people I know who have said oh, well, I mean, I didn't love it. I don't even know if I liked it, but I didn't dislike it. I didn't hate it. Were kind of, it's I kind of think that their expectations were just shot by all the negativity. And so they went into it feeling like this is going to be awful. And then it wasn't as bad as they thought it was. Or they wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be based on what they'd heard. But that said, we don't know, they probably didn't read a bunch of articles and stuff either, because a lot of these articles were completely full. I mean, mine was completely full of spoilers. That BuzzFeed one, or was it BuzzFeed? The one that a bunch of people shared was also full of spoilers, and they warn about that. So, if all you hear is, oh my God, it was bad, but you don't really hear why, you go in thinking, oh my God, it's going to be bad. And then you come out thinking, okay, well, wait, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm hoping maybe some of them actually read some of these articles and kind of think about the issues with this movie. And speaking of the issues with this movie, who wants to go first?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that the people that I know who liked it were just, I don't know, they thought that the plot was innovative, and I'm just no. Innovative? But no, they were dazzled. These are the people that I know who liked it, and I hate to say this, but they don't have standards, I guess, like I do. They don't know a lot about filmography. They don't know a lot about making film. They don't know a lot about what makes a good film. Like you were saying with the technical stuff. And so they didn't understand why I didn't like it. They're like, oh, I thought it was really pretty. And I was like, yeah, but the content was shit. Just because you like the drama of the big reveal at the end doesn't mean it's a good story. But anyway, sorry. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
So, I mean, we have to talk about the Dumbledore and Grindel thing, because that's basically the main story. And Newt is just filler, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Already?
Oh, yeah. I I mean, Dumble and Grindel, that Mirror of Erised scene, I get it why it was in the movie, but it was presented in a way because of the blood pact thing that the general audience wouldn't really think that these two had a history together. Like Dumble and Grindel loved each other or whatever that toxic relationship was. Like that blood pact thing felt to me as if it was Rowling's way to like no homo the entire situation.
Well, yeah, because she has to appeal to her broader audience.
Yeah, it felt like a no homo. Like, I mean, it was so surprising. Remember when Newt ended up giving that blood pact thing back to Dumbledore at the end? And Dumbledore, and he was like, "You didn't attack Grindel because you had the blood pact thing going on." And Dumbledore was like, "Yeah, I was." I mean, he was. I mean, that was. Just...
I mean, I don't know. I will say that I loved that they brought back Jamie Campbell Bower. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I adore him. I think everything about him is wonderful. Even though he did play Jace Whalen in Mortal Instruments, we will forgive him for that. But I don't know. I liked they did bring him back as young Grindelwald. That is the one thing that I was like, yes, okay, this is good. But that was like the only thing.
And also, what's Rowling's end game with, not end game, but what's the progress she wanted or what's the message she wanted to give through Dumble? Like, okay, so he is a wizard, he's gay, he fell in love with Grindel, but then he's like, what, more than 100 years old in Harry Potter?
He's 150 in Harry Potter.
So he never moved on from Grindelwald, even after defeating him, and he never found love. Like, that's such a sad gay trope that we see in movies, in Voltron, even in Voltron recently. Like, that's... Why is Rowling doing this? It would have been
maybe
okay.
he just never found the right guy. I mean, no, I'm not defending it. I'm just like, I know my life choices. So...
Same.
I mean, it would have...
same.
It would have felt okay if Rowling ended up creating another queer character so that they could like cancel each other out. Like, here's Dumbledore, he's the sad gay, and here's and here's yada yada, who's the happy gay. So like they kind of balance each other out, but yeah, it's not good.
Beyond that, like, how the fuck is the blood pact thing different from the unbreakable vow, which we already had? Like, I feel like it was literally created so they could have this pretty locket and like the plot point that it created. Like,
Tara, they're gay.
Why
they
do you
need
need
lockets.
both?
They need jewelry.
It's absolutely a plot device. Basically, so I don't know why. I mean, I could agree with Fareed. That's probably it. But I mean, at the very least, it was put there as a plot device for people who don't know like the background of the story. And, you know,
there was no need for it.
No, it was absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I say that, and now that I think about it, it's like, okay, well, an unbreakable vow is unbreakable. Har har har. But like,
no, if you break
a blood
vow, you literally will die.
Yeah, so I guess with a blood pact, it's like, so why didn't they just make an unbreakable vow? Oh yeah, because then Dumbledore would never have been able to fight him, and Rowling apparently was not okay with retconning that part of her story.
I mean, we all know that Dumble and Grindel aren't even going to fight in the 5th movie. We all know they're just going to have breakup sex and cry about it, and then Grindel will be sent off to
if I have to see any sort of like any sweetness or not, Johnny Depp. That's it. Puke.
I mean, can we talk about? We did talk about Grindelwald as a villain. Can we go back to that briefly? Because, like, to me, Johnny Depp had no personality in his in his acting choices in this film. Like, I know none of us are fans of Johnny Depp, so we'll just say that now. But as an actor, we have to kind of evaluate his choices and look at his past work to know what he can do, which he can act. He can create these over the top characters. And he didn't do that here. And he should have, because frankly, it would have made the movie a lot better. You know, it's boring.
It's another excuse for him to wear a wig and stupid makeup and over the top costumes. And what did I say down here? Hold on,
I mean, I have to imagine that wasn't even a wig, that he just like bleached his hair or something.
Gosh, if he does, I don't know though. If he did that, his hair would fall out. But like I said, it was an excuse for Johnny Depp to wear makeup and a fancy costume and prance around like a house on fire. I don't know what I meant by that. I said, someone put him out of his misery. Take a break, Johnny. Like, and I understand that Amber Heard also was part of the violence. Like, they both were violent towards each other. But, like, Johnny Depp has an issue. He's got a history of alcoholism. He needs to calm the fuck down and stop performing. He needs to take care of himself, and he's not. And he looks awful. Like, he looks like a horse that was rode hard and put up wet and not in a good way.
There's an entire meme on the internet where they are comparing Jude Law's face with Johnny Depp's, and they're like, what happened to Grindelwald that he ended up aging so badly?
Well, I mean, dark magic.
Being angry and gay makes you age poorly.
I mean, or dark magic. But, you know, but really, though, like, regardless of whatever Amber Heard might have done in that situation, like, we all know that Johnny Depp is not a good person. And like, they could have just recast, but they refused because that's what happens. Like, people dig their feet in, and like, it might not hurt this movie to the point of breaking the, you know, this Fantastic Beasts franchise as a whole yet. But I think going forward, if they don't really fucking rectify some of the mistakes they made in this movie, like, it's like, I know a lot of people who didn't go to see this like right away because of all of that. And I know a lot more people who aren't going to see the next movie right away, if at all, because of this movie. So, like, and how bad it was. So,
I know I have a lot of friends who aren't doing it because of, like, Nagini apparently was the nail in the coffin for them.
Ugh. Well,
we'll talk about female representation. We will talk about Rowling.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it soon,
whatever her definition of female representation is.
But other than just the Grindelwald just mess, like, there were plenty of other issues. So what do you guys got?
I mean, one of the biggest issues that I have about this film series is that we were promised fantastic beasts and where to find them. So part one was kind of okay. And then two, we have this dark wizard and no fantastic beasts. And like, when this series was announced, I actually thought that they were going to focus on Newt going all around the world and introducing us to fantastic beasts. Now, that was an idea I was interested in, and the entire Dark Wizard thing could have played out in the background and could have like come front center in third or the fourth film. But seeing it being so much focused upon in the second film, I'm not a fan of the series. I don't like it. I want beasts. I want Newt to like help them or rescue them or whatnot.
Yeah, my favorite part of the movie was when Newt was helping the Chinese Zhao. Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce Zhao.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, my favorite part of the movie was Newt like calming it and setting it like unchaining it and then like teasing it with a little kitty toy. Like, that was the best.
That was everyone's favorite part of the movie.
That's all that I want. Like, that's all that I want. But no, it was just that one little part.
Because making it about the Dark Wizard, it does no service to Newt, because right now Newt, Queenie, and the rest of the characters feel like fillers. I want them to like disappear so that the story can focus on Grindelwald and Dumbledore. Like, they feel stupid. Like, Newt being the middleman, it just doesn't make any sense to me. He needs to go.
Yeah. It should have been named like Dumbledore's Adventures in Meddling or something, because that's what he does. Like, and that's what he did this whole film too. Like, it's always about Dumbledore like getting other people to do his bullshit work for him. And
Dumbledore is such
so
a terrible character.
So wait, so
Because
like
he likes the drama.
the first movie was Dumbledore, and that time he tricked Newt Scamander into doing his work for him. And the second movie, this movie is Dumbledore and
What?
meddling and everything.
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, these are all like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter. And,
Oh,
so the first movie was Dumbledore, and that time he got Newt Scamander to do his job for him. And this one is Dumbledore, and again, the time he got Newt Scamander to do his job for him. And I mean, not even really though. Like the Dumbledore and the time that he convinced all of his friends to work together to do his job for him, because fucking Nicholas Flamel is in there too.
that was. Oh my god, poor Nicholas Flamel. He, I will say that I did like the casting for young Newt and for young Leda. They did a very good job with that. Like, I actually had to look at it really closely to make sure that it wasn't actually the actors like aged down with CGI. But no, they actually cast actors that looked frighteningly. By the way, whatever happened to Yusuf? Nobody, like, did he die?
No one cares. He's a minority.
That's fact.
No, I think he survived. I
No,
think he was in.
He survived.
I think he was in
He
that
survived.
group.
He was in the final scenes after they fought that blue dragon fire, whatever that was.
The whole thing with him with the eye and like taking the worm out of his eye, I was like, this serves no purpose at all.
I mean, they had to give him something.
That's what we could call it. Dumbledore's Adventures of Meddling and Plot Devices.
And then the sad gay TM.
Yeah. It was stupid. And then that Credence reveal at the end, like, why, Rowling? Why?
Okay,
Why?
so like you should have seen Tara, and because like I have a lot of notes here about stuff. Like, so I'm gonna go back to the Credence Clearwater revival story in a second. But so they were very like most of the time I sat with my head in my hands most of it. Very few Fantastic Beasts. The Nifflers are adorable. J.K. Rowling took the timeline and did a giant poop on it. She has McGonagall teaching in Hogwarts, but she's not a teacher until the 50s. Like, and then what else did I say? Oh yeah, and then everything else here is about, because like Tara and I were literally sitting there trying to figure out how this would have been possible for him to be a long lost Dumbledore brother. Like it's like that image from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's standing there with all the stuff in the background and he's like, I know y'all have seen it. Seen that picture.
Yeah.
But that was
I agree with everything that you're saying, and I feel like she's doing this, in my opinion, as fan service, but she needs to understand that the biggest fans of this whole universe love the universe mostly because of its detailed intricacies and being able to go back and find Easter eggs and stuff. But the things that were in this film were not Easter eggs. They were like, I don't know. Help me.
They were inaccuracies, glaring inaccuracies.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't fan service for the fans. It was fan service for, I don't know.
It was like she wants to keep creating things and making it new and exciting and have all these crazy reveals, but like we don't need another like. So it's physically impossible for Aurelius / Credence Clearwater Revival to be. I know his name isn't Credence Clearwater Revival, but that's his name now. It's literally impossible for him to be a Dumbledore brother. Impossible. One, Ariana Dumbledore, Kendra Dumbledore died way before he was born. Percival Dumbledore died before he was born. Unless he knocked up a Dementor while he was in Azkaban. Like,
Maybe.
there's literally no way.
Maybe. That could happen.
Stop. No, don't go down that rabbit hole. I already did.
That's why Credence looks so pale.
No,
He's off.
Yeah,
We don't know
he's an
about the
Imperial.
genitalia or reproductive abilities of Dementors. Maybe we'll get that in the next film. It is
I will literally
where to find them.
I will literally shit enough bricks to build a castle, and then
Dumbledore, in that time he gave us the anatomy of...
Oh my gosh.
The sex
Commander.
adolescent.
This is how Imperials are actually born. They're mated with. Like,
yeah, except for that's not all what they said in this movie. But again, this is Rowling, so she'll just turn around and retcon anything she wants. But I mean, like, yeah, there's no way, based on the timeline that we have known for literally like almost decades at this point, at least more than one decade, because the books have been done for more than 10 years, right? Yeah, absolutely.
20?
I think the last book came out in like
2007?
No, 2000 and July of 2008, I believe.
Okay, so
No,
10
seven.
years.
It was seven. Sorry.
Whatever. 10 like, but the thing is, like, even if the credence reveal turns out to be a lie, which like everybody thinks it is, like everybody seems to think it's a lie. Like at first everybody was mad about it, and then everybody did the math and was like, no, this can't possibly be true. So it's obviously a lie. But like, I'm like, and honestly, I'm still not sure that that's actually going to be the case, because again, Rowling retcons shit all the time. They completely changed McGonagall's age by like at least 30 years.
Yeah, because she was born in the 20s.
Cameo in this fucking movie.
Yeah, because her mother was
such a stupid cameo. Like, even if you took McGonagall out, they could have had another teacher there. They could have had Sprout. They could have had Flitwick.
Yeah.
But why McGonagall? It doesn't make sense.
But yeah, so like they're retconning this stuff. So what makes anybody think they're not going to retcon the whole Dumbledore family storyline? That said, even if it is a red herring, that's still some serious fucking with the fan stuff that like I can't get behind. Like people who have read these books over and over and over again, and or seen the movies over and over again, like we all know that story by now. Why completely change it? It's unnecessary. They could have done so many other things, but instead, like, because they wanted this to be 5 movies instead of 3, they're just fucking everything. Like, I'm so mad.
I was saying that honestly, I would have been happier if Credence turned out to be Tom Riddle. Like, let's be honest.
I would have been happier with him being just about anybody else. Maybe like a snake or like somebody we've never heard of. That's a shocking suggestion, but like it just, yeah.
He's actually Salazar Slytherin's last heir.
Could be. Who knows? He might end up being Voldemort's father. Who knows?
Except for Voldemort's father was a Muggle. Sorry.
Was he though? Was he?
We'll never know.
Okay, and then there was this whole stupid thing about not picking sides. And I was like, no, why, Rowling? Why?
Like Newt, listen, I liked everything else about Newt in this movie was fine. He was like one of the few characters that wasn't seriously screwed with. You know what I mean? Like, it was just that one thing, the whole, like, I don't take sides. Like, oh my God. Yeah, sure. Not all members of a Hogwarts house have to embody every one of its virtues, but just is one of Hufflepuff's, like, main characteristics. Like, they are just and loyal. Like, aside from Gryffindor, they were the first house to take sides in the fight against Voldemort, and every single one of them chose to fight. So I get Newt not wanting to be an Auror, especially if it means like rushing off to kill Credence. But like to say he won't take sides at all is just bad character writing. But again, like this whole movie was full of fucked up, stupid character writing. So what do I know? Right?
Yes.
Tara, you have a comment about someone leaving something on your review?
Oh, yeah. So someone left a very interesting comment on my review because I made something I said about I would have liked to see a little, like I would have liked to have them been a little more blatant about the same-sex relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. And this person said that, they keep reading that people wanted to see more of that relationship, but and this is this person saying this, as a gay man, they didn't want to see that. They loved Jude Law playing Dumbledore, but with Johnny Depp playing Grindelwald and knowing about the actor's personal life, it was upsetting. It's not good representation. Think about the associations people would make seeing that on screen, like everything he's done in his personal life could be transferred to us. It's bad for the LGBTQ community, and or at the very least, definitely bad for gay men. I do get where this person's coming from, but I want to make it clear. And I responded to them and said, I want to make it clear. I was speaking of young Grindelwald and Dumbledore. So I don't think any of us want to see anything really like that between Johnny Depp Grindelwald and anyone, but certainly not Dumbledore. But I even saying I was speaking of Grindelwald, young Grindelwald and Dumbledore, I get where they're coming from, how it could still be kind of projected onto, the community and everything. I mean, I'm not a gay man, so what do I know? But I really appreciated the comment. It was nice to I don't know, nice maybe isn't the right word. It was good insight, I guess.
What's it going to take to have Colin Firth back? I mean, they could recast Johnny Depp in the third film, and I won't mind.
They could recast. They could literally recast him as almost any actor who doesn't have a fucking fucked up personal life would work. Literally any actor. They could have recast him after whatever. We've already gone through that.
I loved Jude Law.
Oh yeah, he was great.
I mean, I thought it was an A+ casting before I saw the film, and I thought he did great. He's got that kind of weird, omniscient but yet vulnerable weird thing that is good for Dumbledore because he likes to meddle, and so I was a fan of that.
Okay, so female representation. Whatever that means in Rowling's book.
So I was the last person to add my thoughts to this document, but I wanted to go first, at least to talk about Queenie, because I fell in love with Queenie in the first movie. I loved everything about her.
Everyone did. She was great.
Yeah. But in this movie, she was basically the personification of the whole, a good person can fall for bad ideas. I don't want to call it a trope. It's like saying oh, well, my totally racist aunt isn't a bad person because she thinks that, everybody who isn't white is horrible. It's bullshit, especially now. Don't even give me the excuse that this is taking place in the 20s. You do not need to write that shit now. And I'll buy that Grindelwald is a very talented Legolamens, and that's why she can't read his mind. Although I kind of feel like her power, especially as she has clearly developed it, would trump a lot of that ability. But sure, whatever. Let's pretend that she absolutely cannot read his mind. Wouldn't that be weird to her though? Wouldn't she feel the block and immediately be like, there's something wrong here? How and why is this person blocking me?
Well, and I don't want to defend this decision at all because I completely agree with you. But I do think that it was heavily implied that she is under some sort of curse or spell or something, especially with like that whole tea thing, that whole tea scene.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's a possibility of why she is doing this. But then again, it doesn't make any damn sense because later on she's like, you know, it's free love.
Well, yeah. Well, even
doesn't make any sense.
Even before the possibility of her like actually being in their house and like them, you know, even before the possibility that she could be, you know, poisoned or cursed, she'd already gone from this character that everybody loved in the first movie to someone who used a love potion on a man who is already just head over heels in love with her because she wants them to get married and have a family. But the only reason he doesn't want to do those things is because he doesn't want her to end up going to jail for marrying him.
Loves her.
Exactly. So like using a love potion is just I don't, in this situation, I don't think you can call it any sort of I don't know. I don't even know. It's wrong. No matter what the situation, it's wrong. It's wrong if the person doesn't want you and you do it that way. It's wrong in this situation when the person does want you and you do it to trick them into marrying you. Like, he really loves her. I mean, I get it's like, again, somebody's gonna give the excuse of like, oh, but it's the 20s and like, if she's supposed to get married and have a family, it's like, but I don't want to hear those excuses. That's not necessary. This is not the Queenie that everybody loved in the first movie. And she knows that Jacob loves her. Like, she can read his mind.
They could move to America and get married.
England, you mean? England.
Oh, they're already in America. Yeah. Yeah, they could have moved in England and start there. But again, with the love potion thing, like, why aren't love potions banned? Like, even in the Harry Potter universe, like even in the Harry Potter franchise, Fred and George are actually selling love potion bakery toffees or whatever that was. Like, why aren't love potions banned? Because Rowling doesn't think like that. I don't know what she thinks. Like, it's
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it just everything about the Queenie storyline, like, so she, and this is why I'm kind of, you know, I got the idea that they were trying to possibly like poison or curse her or whatever, like to convince her to join them, but like before that even happened, she was already not the character that I really loved from the first movie. I mean, then the fact she goes to the Paris like Ministry of Magic and is like completely inept all of a sudden, like she's flustered. I get it, but I don't know. It was like a completely different character, and I hated everything about it. And like then she joins up with fucking Wizard Hitler, and it's like, I honestly, I was supposed to go to a photo shoot like 2 days after I saw the movie in my Queenie costume. I don't know if I'll ever wear that costume again. If she doesn't somehow get like seriously redeemed hardcore in the next movie or so, like I'm probably never gonna wear that costume again.
I mean, the only way she'll be redeemed is that it's a long con and she tries to kill Grindel herself. Maybe.
But I mean, that whole scene at the end of the movie where she's like all up in his business, like, oh, he'll come around, don't worry. It's like, ugh. Bleh.
Well, but even if she does kill him, I don't think it was a long con. Like, that just doesn't seem plausible at all. But again, who knows?
It's Rowling. It could happen. It can happen. Yeah. But then as far as representation goes, then there was Leta Lestrange or Leta? I think it's Leta, right?
Leta, yeah.
Yeah, Leta Lestrange. Like, I was so excited to see Zoe Kravitz in the role, that we finally had some good like POC, WOC representation, and then they ended up using her only for man pain. And I was like, why would you destroy such an awesome character? Why couldn't you just let her survive? And then her entire sacrifice thing for Grindel, it didn't even do anything. She didn't do anything. She basically just killed herself. Like, it would have been okay if she ended up having a real duel with Grindel, but she was burnt away. And then was it before she died, or like a few seconds later, she was like, "I love you" to, I don't know, Newt or someone? Why would she even say that?
Well, we don't know who she said it to because the brothers were right next to each other.
Yeah.
Why would she say that?
We don't know.
And if she loves Newt, why is she marrying his brother? Like,
It's complicated.
Relations are complicated for Reed. I don't
know. I have had very long-term relationships with two guys who had brothers. One was a younger brother and the other was an older brother. And I'm telling you right now, like, I can't comprehend how somebody could be like, I'm going to care about this person when I'm young, but then all of a sudden I'm going to marry his brother. Fuck that. Not only is it
I don't
weird,
think it happens in real life, or does it?
I hope not.
It can't work or something. I don't know. I don't know what kind of friend circle Rowling has, but it doesn't happen normally.
I also, let's see. I kind of like just disappointed in Queenie. Has to have been cursed. I thought she was maybe in period. So in this movie, Tina was reduced to like a moony background damsel. She was super tenacious and give no fucks in the first film. Like, where did that go? You know? Bring her back. I'm upset that Lita's dead. I loved Lita so much. I loved her complex character. And just for her to be fridged at the last moment for Collective's Commander Manpain pissed me off. The only real women that we seem to be involved in the plot, to be empowered in some way, are Razier and Kara. Those are two of Grindelwald's lackeys. You know? Nagini exists in this movie. Why? To give some kind of shitty backstory to fawn over Clearwater revival. She only exists to further Credence's plot. You know? Like how does this character who is eventually Voldemort's snake come to? There's just so many questions I have and so much disappointment that I have, and like I don't know. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, it was still so bad. And the backstory they gave Lita, even that was sad. Like, why is Rowling writing such stuff in current times that we're living in? Like, what's the reason for her to do all of this? It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Every fucking character decision in this movie was a goddamn mess. Let's be honest. Tina. It's like, how do you even get into all of this? Like, I could talk about Queenie for an hour. Tina being like an actual, protagonist in her own right in the first movie, and then becoming just sort of this side character who is, bitchy about Newt because she thinks he's marrying, Lita Lestrange. Then she finds out he's not, and nothing ever comes of that. And I like, what fucking part does Newt and Tina have to play and Nagini have to play in the story going forward? Like, I guess Nagini might, I guess they're all going to have this whole thing to do with Credence, but like, they were, like we've said from the beginning, they were all kind of just accessories to this whole Dumbledore and Grindelwald thing already in the second movie. How the fuck are we going to watch 5 movies of this shit? Someone please explain this to me.
Well, I have no idea. Also, coming back to female representation, has Rowling created a fleshed out female character? Just think about it. Can Rowling write good female characters?
I mean, she can't really write characters in general, so.
I mean, all of her female characters, the end result is that they are someone's lover. Except, I mean, honestly, Luna.
Yeah.
We do know that she ends up with a Scamander after the fact. Like, she gets married, but that it doesn't happen, that she doesn't meet this person during the original series. She doesn't have any sort of romantic thing with anybody during the original series. Like, she's kind of a thing of her own, and I think she's the only one I can think of.
I mean, but then again, I think that Rowling ended up writing Luna as a joke character, like someone whimsical and someone weird. Like, her main characters were Hermione, which is another issue, and then we have Tina in this film, and then we don't necessarily have a lot of female characters. I mean, Ginny was basically Harry's love interest.
Oh my god, I hate Ginny so much.
Yeah, even Cho Chang. Like, Rowling can't write female characters. There's something probably
Tonks
up with her.
was good though. Molly Weasley was very good, I will say. McGonagall, she did a good job with McGonagall, but McGonagall's also my favorite character though. So
I disagree about Tonks, but like, I love Tonks, but like, I can't say she was good female representation, because in the end she falls in love with Lupin and her whole story becomes about him. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
I mean, as far as I can see currently in Rowling's headspace, female characters are there to prop up the male protagonist, and that's that.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell. Yeah. Like, Rowling doesn't do female representation like the way that I would want it to go. But yeah, even the Cursed Child, like, Hermione's daughter doesn't do anything. It's all about Malfoy's son and Harry's son. There's no female representation in the Cursed Child either, like, nothing.
I haven't read it or seen it because
I don't care. I refuse to acknowledge it as canon.
I heard enough about it that I was like, no. And now I wish I'd done the same with this. So, Erin, any thoughts on female representation in this?
I mean, it's all kind of, I would say what you guys are all saying. I still am really weirded out about the whole like extreme face close-up of Lita throughout the film. And obviously that was intentional, but I still don't know why or like what it was supposed to convey. And I wish I knew.
It's probably to see how gorgeous Zoe Kravitz is.
I mean, but like,
she's gorgeous. We have a gorgeous face on screen. Zoom.
I mean, were they? Do you think it was maybe just they were trying to, and not very well, mind you, but they were trying to like push her importance, to lead up to the whole like reveal at the end of whether or not Credence was a Lestrange.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it was still not good, but that's the only thing I can assume.
Was it the Titanic that sank?
No,
it wasn't the Titanic.
No.
Okay, I thought it was the Titanic. I was like,
no.
Why are you?
Because I think average. I think Credence. We don't know exactly how old he is, but he's like between 19 and 21, and also that boat sank during a storm. Like, oh my God! Like, who doesn't know the fucking story of the Titanic? That it was like a clear night with glassy waters, and that's why they didn't see the fucking iceberg.
Also, the Titanic also sank in 1912, and Credence was in America by 1908. Because he was born between 1906 and 1907.
Even ignoring the timeline stuff, the years and everything, and how old he is, like, everybody knows the Titanic didn't sink during a storm, right? Like,
yeah.
if you weren't taught about it at some point in your life, you have seen Titanic, right?
I saw it one time. Thank you.
Well, right, but you've seen it, like, or literally any other movie based on that story, because there have been a lot of them. I mean, there are actually even Italian cartoons about the Titanic sinking.
Oh my God, I've seen that, and it's so fucking awful. Didn't you and I watch that? Maybe I don't.
Yeah,
was it me and you or me and Ben? I don't remember.
They're hilarious.
What do you think is going to happen next in part 3? Where are they going to go from here?
I don't care.
Who knows? Jeez.
Theories, come on.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I want Rowling to dig in and insist that Credence is actually a Dumbledore, or if I want her just retcon the shit out of everything like she always does, or if I want it to be a lie and just be like a really bad, like, fucking with fans sort of thing. Like, they had to have known that people who know the series the way so many people do would pick that shit apart. So what's it gonna be?
Do they though?
I don't know.
I know.
This makes me want to crawl into a hole.
I know one thing that's going to happen in the next film is that Dumbledore is going to round up everybody and be like, "Hey, do this thing for me. That's really bad. I don't want to do."
I can't leave the grounds or I'll melt.
Oh my God. You're right, though.
Yeah, that is going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, I think that's the only thing we can like actually depend on at this point in the whole Harry Potter canon universe. It's just Dumbledore is going to be terrible.
Also,
Actually,
Jacob,
really
like you said,
Dumbledore, but like, dude, come on.
Also, I think Jacob needs to leave because it's too dangerous, or at least give him a gun or something.
Look, Jacob has gone. I'll have you know that Jacob is now in Alexandria, and actually I haven't finished that episode yet, so I don't know. The Walking Dead, Dan Fogler, who plays Jacob, is in The
He
Walking
ended up
Dead.
finding, I wrote a comment in it that he ended up finding another fantastic beast, zombies.
Oh my God.
He went in search of zombies to The Walking Dead.
If I ever meet you in person, I'm going to flick you in the nose for that one.
But yeah, Jacob needs to leave, and I don't know. Even I don't know what's going to happen in part 3. Like,
No one knows.
Dumbledore is going to mess. He's going to manipulate people. And I think Grindel is going to send Credence to kill Dumbledore.
You think? I mean, isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, in part 3. And
like Grindelwald clearly doesn't think that he can take care of the job. And I don't think it's like, honestly, fuck me if it's actually that whole like blood pact thing, because like
they love each other, Tara. Grindel doesn't want to kill them.
I actually think it's, I think what it, and I could be wrong, of course, but I think that Dumbledore, absolutely part of why he couldn't, act against Grindelwald is because of the blood pact, or because of their past and everything. But I think the biggest part of that for Dumbledore right now is that he sees what Grindelwald has become, and he knows that something needs to be done about it. But because of the blood pact, he was like, even outside of his feelings or their past, he literally physically couldn't, for whatever this blood pact fucking nonsense is. But the way I kind of perceived it from this movie was that Grindelwald doesn't think he's, even if he has the emotional and mental capacity to go up against Dumbledore, he doesn't think he's powerful enough.
Then why doesn't Dumbledore go after him?
Well, now he can, right? Because he has the locket.
But then we have to wait. the final movie to see the fight. What's Dumbledore going to do in part 3 and 4?
I'm sure there's going to be some sort of nonsense magic about how do we figure out how to break the blood pact, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to need a little more information about what this blood pact is exactly. And like, can you just like stomp on it? Is it like, I mean.
No, he's going to do what Harry did with Elder Wand and break it in half and throw it over a bridge.
That would be amazing if they try every spell and then there's a scene where Jacob just stomps on it.
Or he accidentally, because he's so clumsy.
I'm sorry, but like, come on. How does this thing work? You've never seen it before. Like, it could be really simple because we don't know how it works. We kind of know how it was formed, sort of like weird hand things, but like, how do you destroy it? How does it work? What are its parameters? These are things we could have relied on previously to be explained to us in text, but now we don't know. So it could be as simple as somebody stomps on it and it's like, oh, broken. Like, we do know eventually that they're going to go up against each other, but and we're going to get there. I mean, I don't know. Need more information.
Or maybe Rita Skeeter was telling the truth that Grindel and Dumble never fought. Remember, there was an entire thing in part 7 where Rita was going about Dumbledore lied about his fight with Grindelwald.
I gotta read that. I want to reread that book right now.
Because Rita, in the last part, didn't Rita publish that book about Grindelwald, The Secret Life of Grindelwald?
No, The Secret Life of Dumbledore.
She did The Secret Life of Dumbledore, and I think she did like kind of put forth that there's a possibility that Dumbledore maybe never fought him. I mean, the weird part is
that's probably
I don't remember, and I've read that. I've read the earlier books like 10 times as much, but like the final book I probably read 4 or 5 times. And like the last time I read it was maybe 3 years. It was about 3 years ago, so it wasn't that long ago. But like, I can't say for certain that that she like specifically said that Dumbledore might not have even fought him. But
we're all gonna need to reread that stupid book like immediately. This is all a ploy.
But it won't matter anyway. It won't matter anyway. None of it matters, though. None of it matters.
All a marketing scheme.
Me in my Hufflepuff sweater, by the way. Like,
I'm wearing my Slytherin shirt because I couldn't find my other one.
Oh, Harry Potter. So much merch.
3 more films to go, y'all. 3 more films.
I mean, let's be real. Like, I'm gonna go see the next one, and I'm not gonna like that I'm going to see it.
Let's just get really trashed before we go, Tara.
Well, I feel like when I go see, like, I feel like maybe I should pass on, like, does anybody else want to review this? Because if I review this, I guarantee it's going to be another review full of, like, bleeped out swears, like an incomprehensible, just madness of me spewing my anger. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's so many things. Like, is Tina gonna be better? Is are Newt and Tina even going to be in the next couple movies? Like featured in them. Nagini, why?
Again, should be like, this shouldn't be Fantastic Beasts. This should be Dumbledore and his adventures. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Dumbledore and how not to get over an ex.
Yeah.
Blood
pact flat.
So are any of us going to see this again in theaters?
I want it out of the theaters.
I don't know. Okay. I only saw the first Fantastic Beasts one time.
Oh, me too.
So I probably know. I probably won't see it again.
I saw Fantastic Beasts with who did I see it with? I don't remember. Anyway, and then I watched it with my parents again. So I don't know though. Like my parents are kind of over Harry Potter, just like they're over The Walking Dead. My dad caught me in here watching it. He's like, "Are you still watching that show?" And I was like, "I hate watch it now." And he was just like,
yeah. LOL, no. Like, I will probably watch it again later, eventually, like maybe right before the next movie comes out, but I'm not paying money to see this thing.
Tara and I both meant to watch the first movie before we went and saw the second movie, and we did
But you
not.
can't watch it. It's not on Netflix. It's not on HBO. It's not on Hulu. It's not on Amazon Prime without paying for it. Fuck that shit. Like, who buys DVDs nowadays?
I just bought a bunch of them.
Whatever the cool kids buy.
I just bought a bunch of them because they have them for really, really, really cheap at Walmart right now. For
yeah,
like
they had Fantastic Beasts at Target for $13, and I was like, should I? No, I don't want to pay $13 for this.
Because you're only going to watch it one more time in your life, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
No.
I'm just gonna say you're cradling my wine.
You're not gonna go see it again, Aaron, I'm guessing. That means no, definitely not.
I mean, no, not in the theater, and probably once it comes out, like, no, probably not. I might see if it looks better on my TV, but I'm really bad with rewatching movies. I start to rewatch them, and then I rewatch like the first 30 minutes, and that's all I get through. Like when I watch, you guys know I love the movie Frozen.
Yeah,
I only watch it until Anna meets up with Kristoff, and then I stop it.
Really? Oh.
I love rewatching movies, but it has to be movies I love. Like, I rewatch movies like mad, but like it's movies I love. Like, I can count on two hands the number of movies I would like rewatch entirely through happily.
I would rewatch. I used to watch 21 Jump Street, The Hunger Games, Princess and the Frog, and Zombieland every day for months and months and months and months. And now I don't watch them anymore.
I rewatched Jurassic Park, the first film, whenever it's
on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Film I'll rewatch. Every time it's on, I'll rewatch it.
For me, it's like Jurassic Park, Star Wars, like original Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is almost like if it's on TV, I'll have it on the background as background noise because it's just way too long a movie for me to rewatch it. Okay, so upcoming webcasts.
The Bitching Den on Monday.
Yes, guys.
I've already done a graphic for it. Like I sent it to you, the Michonne one. It was.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
had to be done.
I will not be there.
What?
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Aaron, you're not even hate watching the kind of soft reboot they did this season.
Oh no, I quit watching with Negan stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, they did a soft reboot. Like Rick's gone, and they're using Negan as less as possible.
No,
for now.
Look. He is Judith's math tutor, and he is doing a great job.
Hey. We'll talk about this on Monday. So, The Bitching Dead, issue number 13 on Monday. We're covering the last 3 episodes of the first half of the Walking Dead
Season
9. December feelings. We've been on a hiatus. Listen, like we've all been traveling or sick or just working. But I think we're coming back on Thursday, December 6th. Right?
I will be just back from vacation, so I should be nice and rested. Not really.
Hopefully.
I'll be there.
Hopefully. I mean, that was what we talked about. I'm saying we'll hopefully be back on Thursday, December 6th. We could always like push it to the beginning of the year, but I think
because there is a lot of stuff we need to talk about.
Oh God, so much stuff. So like favorite, I think the question, favorite creature or creature you hope to see. Oh, I think we're doing question. Creature you hope to see in a future movie. I'm guessing by what people are typing in right now. What fantastic creature do you hope to see in a future movie?
I want to see the blast-ended Scroots. I think that would be so fun.
But Hagrid created those.
Wasn't that a hybrid that Hagrid did?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just shut up. You know, just J.K. Rowling can destroy everything else. She can let this happen, okay?
She'll let it happen. Yeah, she'll let it happen.
It'll turn out that someone else created them.
You very well could get your wish.
I wouldn't mind seeing.
I would actually like a Manticore.
That'd be cool.
The Manticore? Yeah, I want that. I want to see that.
I'd like to see some vampires, actually. With vampires and
those are like people, aren't they? Are those considered fantastic beasts?
Yeah, they are. They're considered fantastic beasts. Vampire would be cool to see. I feel like mermaids would be cool. Even though we've already seen the mermaids, I'd like to see more of them.
You know what I would like to see?
As far as things are concerned, we might not even see a Fantastic Beast in part 3. We might not see anything. But yeah, Erin, what about you?
I would like to see owls because where the hell have they been?
They were, to be fair, they were in the Ministry of Magic because one of them pooped.
That's true.
This was pre when they started using like the charmed paper. They were still, but yes, I agree.
But
like
still.
it was, yeah, no, I completely agree. Like it was, there's a serious lack of owls in these movies.
Yes.
I want to see a moon calf.
I think
Have we seen those? Did
I think we have. Yeah.
Were they in the first one? Oh, they might have been in the first one, like briefly. Okay.
Here we go. I'm looking it up. Mooncalf, Fantastic Beast. Yeah, they are.
Okay. I have to think about it then. I want to see.
What?
I don't know. An actual Arampent.
In the film?
An Arampent.
How's it spelled?
It's the thing that like they have Luna's father has the horn.
Rumpet?
Is it a rumpet? Arampent? I don't know.
It looks like we already saw that though. It's the one that
wasn't it in part 1?
Is that in the first one too?
Yeah, that one chases.
Jesus Christ! I'm bad at this.
I would like to see some measles. I think that would be fun as well.
See, now that Tara has said all of these beasts and we've already seen them, I'm in Camp Fareed, which is we will not see any more fantastic.
Yeah.
beasts. We've already seen them all.
I totally forgotten that we had seen all of these things. Have we seen a Wampus? Like the cat from the Ilvermorny? I don't think we've seen a Wampus.
No, we haven't seen a Wampus yet.
Okay, fine. That's what I want then. I want to see a fucking Wampus.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe I don't remember any of these creatures from the first movie. And I literally watched the first movie as I was writing my review for this movie. Because I was like, I gotta remember, were these characters this bad in the first movie? Oh no, they weren't. That's fine.
I I would like to see more obscurials because apparently everyone is an obscurial, even though we've never heard of them before.
And apparently that's actually a a fantastic beast. So.
Right. Not just like depression that's like external.
Hi,
Well,
and welcome to my obscurial.
What also kills me is the idea, like, so Dumbledore says, like, if Credence realizes he has a sister and we can unite them, then it might fix him.
See, that's why people think that Credence and Ariana are siblings, which is not possible.
No. But like, he was, I think, or maybe he said, like, whatever he said, Dumbledore has Dumbledore, Jesus Christ, Credence has a sibling. If we can unite them, it will fix him, as, like, he won't be an obscurious, whatever it is, anymore. So here's my problem with that. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love my family. But I have friends who are closer to me than my family for, in this day and age, pretty obvious reasons. I'm very liberal. They're very not. So like the idea, like wouldn't Nagini, even if she is, and it's not really clear if she is a love interest or if she is just a very close friend. Why wouldn't that, like, why does it have to be a blood relative that fixes the whole thing? Or does it? Does it have to be? Why am I asking these questions? I hate this movie.
I was about to say that's too many brain things.
I'm done for the night.
These are questions we don't have answers to.
But seriously, like I if that's really how it is, and like there has to be a blood connection, I think that's fucked up. I think that's just so messed up that the only way to fix him is that there is a blood connection.
Maybe that's what the whole blood pact is for. Maybe it's not really Dumbledore that Credence is related to. It's Grindelwald that he's related to.
What? I mean, no, you're going to make me go down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. How dare you? Because now I'm sitting here like, maybe.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Goodbye forever.
For tonight.
I mean, Aaron has given me something to think about. That
yeah,
could
Aaron.
happen.
I'm sorry.
Like, yeah, because Credence would find out that Grindelwald is actually his father or brother or whatever, and then he was betrayed by his actual family. That would make him feel more depressed or something. That would happen.
I get it not being fixed by romantic love, but like the love I feel for like a lot of, like, seriously, like I'm gonna be serious for a second. The love I feel for a lot of my friends is as strong, if not stronger, than my family members. So while I get it not being fixed by romantic love, fuck the fact that it has to be a blood relative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Only Rowling knows. We'll find out in 2020 when the next film is released.
Oh, God. I know that's not really that far, but it seems very far.
Y'all, what if no, never mind. I'm not going to say that on the air. I'll tell you later.
All right. Meanwhile,
I'll do the outro. Are we done?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, we'll wrap this up. I'm Erin. I'm here with Tara, Becca, and Fareed. Thank you for joining us for our special edition of Feelings with the Geekiary. Remember, we're a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you, so please give us money. Thanks for contributing and helping our host site, the Geekiary. Sorry. Some of us will see you on Monday. Some of us will see you who knows when. Okay. Bye.
Bye.